Good morning, everyone. This is Corey Babka from the Marks Group doing your monthly tips and tricks for Salesforce.com. These are actually what we're doing is we're walking through the tips that were posted July of 2018. This is early August, so we always do this about 3-4 weeks later. We do a live walkthrough of those 3 tips that we post for all of our products, not just Salesforce, but I happen to be the lucky one to do Salesforce today. So without further ado, just want to jump into it. If you have any questions, of course, you can go ahead and chat with me. If you're watching this video after the fact, apologies for that, but you can always reach me and ask me questions at Corey@marksgroup.net, which is COREY@MARKSGROUP.net. Any of the comments that you post at the bottom of our blogs, they also get to us, so we can comment that way and question and answer any questions you might have. Okay, so first tip that we want to kind of go over today, it's not a lot going on in today's 3 tips. It's probably only about 15 to 20 minutes, so you don't have to worry too much about your time. But the first tips we're going to do is we're going to go through the Lightning Edition, tracking your changeover for your team. We're also going to go into themes, both creating a custom and choosing your other themes that are already out of the box. And themes are something that came new with summer 2018, which was obviously launched probably a couple months ago, maybe. So let's just start right away. So the thing about the Lightning Edition tracking your changes. So it's actually tracking your changeover. As we know, Salesforce.com is constantly pushing their Lightning Edition. If you're new to Salesforce in the last 2 years, you know nothing but Lightning Edition. You don't know what the Classic Edition is. You've probably seen it here and there in old blog posts of mine, of others, maybe some training videos, initial demos, things like that. But for right now, Lightning Edition, what you're looking at right now on my screen is what we're all using or trying to use and trying to change over. Now, some companies not changing over yet. I would say my client list is probably about a 50-50 split using Lightning and Classic. My developers actually prefer Classic over Lightning, but they're getting there. Okay, we all are getting there. So one of the things that is an app that is out there, if we go to our app chooser, which are Brady Bunch box, Tic-Tac-Toe, whatever you want to call it, there is a Lightning usage app, and it's right what it is. It's view adoption and usage metrics. Okay, we go into this, and as you can see, it tells me there's a whole series of reports down the side. Okay, but this is the Lightning experience. How many users are we doing per month? Now my instance happens to be a single user, so you're only going to see 1, okay? But daily active users, what's my number? 1. So yours is going to look very different, but it's a nice kind of review of what is going on, okay? Profile, right? Now I go to Salesforce Mobile, who's using this? Well, in this one you can see that I didn't really use it in May, or I went from June to July. There's 1 user, average daily, you know, is going to go up and down. Most active users, there's no data. Okay, so that's fine by profile, right? Usage, this is the one here that matters to me most right now. Okay, this is the total switches to Salesforce Classic, unique switches. So what I love about this is this actually shows me who's going back and forth to Classic. And if you look at it, right now you can see me in June, I went 10 times back to Classic. May I went twice. July I went 3 times. Okay, that really kind of shows you who's doing it, right? And then unique monthly switches, what do we got? 1 user is going there. That's the count of users. Scroll down a little bit, and I've got some other numbers too, right? And even more so, I've got who's the biggest offending user. This one kind of cracks me up, but it shows me that last month I did it 3 times. You're going to see all your users with a different bar chart to see what's going on and who's going back and forth. Okay, that's very, very helpful. So therefore, you don't have to send out that blanket statement that you all aren't using Lightning like I asked. Instead, you go pinpoint the people that are, okay, that are not doing it. We've got a browser, okay, who's using what browser? I'm a Chrome guy, so you're only going to see Chrome in my numbers. And then on the pages, what are the pages that I look at most? Home, theme manager, basic home setup, you know, account records. This is the type of stuff here that you've got. It's nice. The one final point that you want to do here is the Lightning Optimizer. Okay, so the Lightning Optimizer is a little program. All you do is, it's real easy. You click it, and then you just say, okay, next, right? You just run it. What happens is it gives you a profile, it gives you a printout, a lot of different information in there. I actually was waiting for it because it says, oh, we're going to email it to you. Well, I never got the email. I still haven't gotten the email from any time I keep trying this. But what I do have is if I look at the files, it is in here. So if I go back to my chooser and I go back to files right here, you're gonna see a bunch of stuff in here, any attachments that I've done, things like that, right? But I've also got last modified. I should have one from the other day because I ran this the other day. There it is. Salesforce Optimizer Report. Okay, I look at this guy. As you can see, it's a long document. Okay, but it does help me out. I mean, it really shows a lot of different things that I want to see right now. It shows me, you know, what my storage limits are, what I'm using, any limits that way. Okay, whoops. Nope, it's gone again. Hold on, get it back. And I scroll down through it, and I can save it like it's a PDF, so I can download it, whatever I want to do. But you've got all these different pieces, monitor limits, okay, data storage. You can actually jump down, I think. Now, they just have a table of contents. It's not linkable, unfortunately. But if I jump down, I keep scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down, you can see that I've got little green check boxes. Maybe some will have some warnings to say, oh, you're doing okay. Like these are yellow, there's 20 reports. I'm not using, I have 20 unused reports, so I should delete those because I'm limited. My record types, I'm not using any. I've got 2-page layouts, but they're not assigned. So this is not just the optimizer for Lightning, but it's an optimizer altogether to make sure that you're doing your best, your due diligence in using Salesforce and getting the most out of it. It's a very nice thing to do. Again, where I found it is I go into here and I go into, I'm in my Lightning app usage or usage app. And then in there on each page, there is your optimizer at the top. Click it, run it, review it, some light reading. It's like 40 pages or something. But a lot of it is just typical fluff that they kind of throw in that everybody gets the same stuff. Okay, you want to look for the numbers. And that's it. Okay, so moving right along to themes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first we're going to go through changing themes, and then we're going to go into custom themes. Okay, so changing themes, what we're looking at is in summer of 2018, we had, they came up with themes, right? Which is this way to make your look and feel. You can kind of see mine. I've got like my logo here. I've got a little bit of a mountainscape behind. And every time I jump around, when I was doing this, when I'm going back to sales, see that? I can actually change it that my logo shows up in the middle too. I'm going to show you today. That's custom themes. In the normal themes, which they've already created for us, I'm going to go to setup. I'm going to go to my quick find and type in theme, and you see it right away. Okay. Now I've got a custom one that I'm going to show you in a bit, but I've also got these other seven other themes that they've created for us that are out there. You can preview them, you can look at them. It's just changing your scope or your the scape of Salesforce.com, whether it's color, whatever you want to do. You can preview each one, right? So in my blog post, I actually kind of gave a snippet or a summary of what each one is. But so like if I go to Lightning Light, I can do this and say preview or even activate it, right? And if I go to activate it and I go to my home page and I reload this, see a little bit different, nothing big, just a little bit of blue. Go to my account records, nothing really going on there. It's more like the default. This Lightning Light is the default, but with a little bit lighter coloring. If I do this Lightning Blue, which I activate this, now we're back to that typical blue that we had before. If I reload and I go to my home page, you can see things are back to a little bit that blue area. Anything that's blank is the blue and it shades down. Okay. Cloudy sky is a, just to kind of give you, it's sea green and gray, right? Just to kind of give you an idea. Lightning blue, like I said, everyone starts with this. Cloudy sky, I was hoping for like a nice dark gray, you know, something kind of funky that way. Turns out it's all turquoise and it's all mountains. It's weird, right? Or it's no, not mountains. It's just turquoise. It's kind of a green, right? So if I do this and I view it, sorry, wrong one. I'm going to go to cloudy sky and say preview. What it does is this. I didn't activate it, but we got this weird turquoise thing going on. Okay, lightning ridge, preview. It's a dark blue, a little bit of a weird green up top. I'm not sure how that matches in. Okay, the one that I can't stand, you know, just personal opinions. The opinions of Corey don't necessarily reflect those of the Marks group. Woo, it is a weird color scheme. Bright red. That's the Cody Canyon. I'm not big on it. Einstein, nice light blue, kind of a bright blue. It's okay. It's the default with a little bit more in it, a little bit more playful. And then the seasonal flare, I'm not really sure what this one is. I mean, right now it's the summer, so it's kind of bright blue. Are we going to go different in the winter? I truly am not sure. I mean, it's there. If I look at it, you know, and I have to bring this back because every time I do this, I lose my drop down, right? So if I go here and I view it, it's going to have a description and it will say a seasonal theme brings new life to Salesforce every release. So they're going to change this color, I guess, every time there's a new release, which the next one is obviously winter. They skip it in fall. So you have winter, spring, summer is what we're going to have, right? But again, we're going to jump into the custom one, okay? And so if I want to do a custom, we're in the same area, okay? Moving on to tip number 3, kind of segueing right in. Number 3, you're in the themes. All you have to do is click new theme, okay? By clicking new theme, you're now in this new window, and you can say, what's the theme name? And I can say testing, okay, API, what's my description? Say just a test. We're actually not even going to save this one. But the image here, the branding, you can do this type of thing where you can find a logo if you want to find yours in the you know, whatever they are, your company logo, company colors. You can do it this way with RGB. You can also put in your web color scheme, your HTML color code, right? The accessible brand color, this happens to be like it will override it and make sure that it has to fit, okay? You know, you want to, I'm not really sure on this one, to be frank with you, what this is, but obviously it's accessibility, so that either colorblind or people, I'm assuming colorblind can be seen, right? Because that's what we do have issues with certain folks. You know, I have relatives, for instance, that are colorblind. It's always interesting what colors they're seeing when I'm not. So you want to make sure that contrast. But even when I choose my company color, if I decide to choose this guy and say done, well, that's fine, but then my palette changes, right? Like my branding is here. If I go page background, I'm going to do this and say done, and I can do global header and I can say done. This all kind of changes. Like this is an automated thing that I cannot mess with at all, okay? But I like the brand coloring. I like being able to do this with your page background and such. This is where if you want to have a page background image like I have with the mountains, you can do it this way too. There's also your other banners, user profile, and group banner. These I haven't seen per se too much. I think this is more for chatter type things, but I could be completely wrong. I tried to change with it the other day and I couldn't see where I was changing it. Avatars, user profile, right? This is the default so that when someone doesn't have their picture in there, what does it show? Okay, you can put your company logo if you want, something like that. And then you just save it. Okay, once you save it, I'm going to show you what mine looks like. So I've done it mine here, and I've got a view. And so I've got my Marks group. Here's my logo. I had to slim it down because anytime I choose a big one, it kind of yells at me. There's my coloring that I went with, and right away it shows these palettes. Okay, I didn't even do anything, it just did it. Okay, there's my mountainscape. Okay, it only allows you 360 high, so it's pretty much the thing at the top. Same with over here is what we can do. We can change these around. Okay, and if I wanted to, actually, let me go here and see if I can edit this. Because when I edit it, that allows me to choose my colors. Before it was all not there. Okay. So I could do this. I could go add another picture if I wanted to, another picture, another picture, another picture, and then you save it up. And by doing so, by making it and activating it, now what I've got, there's my logo that loads. There is my, there's my mountainscape behind. When I go here, you can see it. It is there, right? Just kind of gives us a little bit more flair, I guess you could say. And that's your custom theme. What that Marks group loading every time, there was a checkbox next to it that said, when you load it, do you want your logo to override the Lightning Edition loading page? The bear with the snorkel right now, right? So I did that and I did say yes, so there it was. And that's my theme, okay? What I can also do, which is kind of nice, if I go back to my setup, I can also clone my view, or my theme. So if I do a theme here, themes and branding, I go here, I say Marks Group, and I just say I can clone it. And by cloning it, I'm keeping everything the same, but maybe I'm going to change a little bit, maybe change a color, things like that. From what I've seen, you cannot assign these by profile. It's kind of a one or all or one. I mean, an all or nothing for the entire org. So you're only doing it that way. But it is a nice to have with the logos, because it used to be that we had to create our own applications like this one, sales and marketing, and then I've got a different logo, right? So you can do it that way. And actually my theme is overwriting that, is what it's doing by changing it around, okay? And so it's nice to be able to do that, change it, make it your own, make it more like your company, and that's kind of a common theme I've seen in other CRM packages as well. Microsoft's doing it, Zoho's doing it, that you can add your own logo, and so therefore it doesn't have their branding all over it. So that's it for today. 3 quick tips, not a big deal. Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, any questions or comments, write me at Corey, C-O-R-E-Y, at marksgroup.net. Hopefully we'll hear from you soon. We will see you this coming month, end of August. I may be away, unfortunately, so I may have to record this and have people watch it on our YouTube channel, where, of course, you can see all of our past videos as well, including this one. All right, thank you, folks. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.